Reforms to the law of inheritance are set to go through Ecuador's National Assembly. The aim is to prevent extreme wealth accumulation among just a few families. Scherffius now reports from Quito.
To further reduce social inequality in the country, President Rafael Correa has announced reforms to the law of inheritance. The reforms are centered on taxes, which will begin applying to inheritances valued at $35,400, or the equivalent of 200 basic salaries at 2.5%. The tax would increase in increments up to 77.5% for sums above $849,600.
Comrades, this applies to the richest. It will not affect the middle class or poorest citizens, and it works to avoid that this intergenerational passing down of wealth that maintains the same families in power.
The inheritance tax, which is already in place in Ecuador, will now take on a more redistributive nature. It has been calculated that 1 in 3,000 inheritances will be affected by this measure, bringing in state income from those with the highest value nationally.
The middle class, the poorest, will not be affected. For us, the people of indigenous communities, we will not be affected because we do not have a lot of land. We do not have haciendas. So I'm telling you that it is important that this become visible to those who work the lands of our country.
The reforms will work to collect the percentages from those inheritances processed in fiscal paradises and in international banks to prevent the evasion of this tax, which will go towards funding state projects.
Great inheritances are being administrated in other parts of the world, particularly in fiscal paradises, evading taxes and preventing the redistribution of wealth. They are exempt from Ecuador's tax regime because they have been acting with dishonesty, taking their inheritance to be processed somewhere else. So we are directing ourselves to this. It is not to collect revenue, because we would not even collect that much.
With the end of promoting social justice, reforms to the law of inheritance seek to break up the historic accumulation of wealth within the country. It is to now go through the National Assembly and will be debated throughout a 30-day period. Scherffius, teleSUR, Ecuador.